Renewable energy as part of the action being taken to combat climate change as part of the SDG Goal 13 is one thing that we need to look at to improve upon and work on it. This is the Changemaker's Voice. My name is Andiopon Dinchi, and you are welcome to Andiopon Online TV, where we embark on a voice to improve upon our voices and to be able to change our world. Let's go and take our quote for the week. We'll be right back. You're humbly welcome back to the Changemaker's Voice. I'm sure you got inspired by the quote you just read. This is the Changemaker's Voice, and today we are discussing renewable energy as part of climate change, what we need to do to combat and take necessary action as part of the SDG Goal 13, and what we need to do as young people to improve and uplift our voice. Let's find out who our guest is today on the show, who will help us to better understand this topic and do what we can and a little in our bit in improving our world. Let's find out who our guest is. We'll come back with more.
Emmanuel Jojo Jomfi comes from Cape Coast in the central region of Ghana. He had his secondary school education at the Mefensipim Senior High. He is currently studying electrical engineering at the university. He goes by the principles of discipline and integrity in his field of endeavors. Emmanuel's area of interests are finance, science, and technology. He is an ambitious young man who is putting in more efforts to make his targets and goals a reality.
Okay, so guys, I warmly welcome back once again to the Changemaker's Voice on Andiopon Online TV, where we come together to uplift our voices and empower and change our world. I'm sure you now know who our guest is. This is Jojo Jemfi. Jojo, welcome to the Changemaker's Voice, to the Empower Your World. So before we delve into the crux of the topic, discussing about renewable energy, could you tell us who you are as part of what we have watched or my audience know about you? Who is Jojo and where are you coming from? And
my name is Emmanuel Jojo Jemfi, and I'm a student of Cape Coast Technical University. I'm in my final year, studying electrical engineering. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'm from Cape Coast.
So you are from Cape Coast?
Yes.
You are from Cape Coast Technical University,
yes.
But not from UCC.
No.
That's Cape Coast, University of Cape Coast.
Yes.
Okay, what course are you reading in school?
I study electrical engineering, but BTech.
You are studying electrical engineering.
Bachelor of Technology.
Bachelor of Technology, okay. Could you take us back down memory lane when growing up? How was life like? Which school did you go to? Okay. And with respect to leadership, did you take any leadership roles when you were in school, especially putting focus on secondary school?
My secondary school, I attended Infantipim School.
Okay.
Yes, and I was part of the science club, but I didn't hold any leadership position. I was part of TUSAG, past executive. Currently, I'm in my final year, so I'm not part of the TUSAG. Is Technical University Engineering Student Association, and we have each technical university has a chapter, and I was a chief justice in CCTV chapter.
Oh, okay.
During the 2022-2023.
You made mention that when you got to your final year, no more the executive or what of the executive. Is there a requirement, or you took 2 steps backwards to withhold?
I decided to let
it go for someone to come and continue.
Yes.
Okay. And you are a past student of Infantipim.
Yeah, Infantipim.
What did you hold any position in school? Okay. How was life growing up in general, and some of the aspirations you harbored or you nurtured within yourself, especially before you came to Cape Coast Technical University?
Before I came to Cape Coast Technical University, I always wanted to do something about robotics and those kind of things. That's why I decided to study electrical engineering.
Oh, okay.
To delve more into those kind of robotics. And
from where you sit as a student, how would you assess the SDG goals? And then you can pick any of them that you have interest in, which is also in relation to your course.
The SDG goals are goals that are set by the United Nations to try and combat the global challenges that is facing the world in general. And it's summarized. And I take particular interest in SDG 13, which talks about climate change and how to combat it.
Okay.
Since it has a very adverse effect on our planet.
What do you have to say about the SDG Goal 13, which talks about climate change? And you have showed us your interest on it. Yes. But is there something more? You have showed us your interest in SDG Goal 13, but is there something more you would want to say about
I think greenhouse gases are affecting our planet negatively. And if you've been watching the news lately, it has been estimated that some small islands will be lost in the year 2030 if we do not do something about this climate change situation. If you look at the history of the Netherlands, part of the land of the country
Okay.
was achieved through land reclamation projects from the sea. So all these type of places stand to be lost if global warming keep going on.
Sure.
Yeah.
To a layman's understanding, what is the concept of renewable energy?
Okay. So renewable energy is simply energy we generate from natural sources, and they can be naturally replenished. That is, if you take a look at natural sources like the sun, we don't. It's natural. It occurs on its own, and like you don't need to replenish it. It's free.
Okay.
Okay. You don't need to put energy into it. It's just
Sure. It
natural.
just shines
Yeah.
as high or low
The
as it
rain, even
exactly.
the rain, you have geothermal energy. Yeah, biomass from human excretion and those kind of stuff. That are all natural stuff can use to generate energy.
Okay. And if you can also let us know what the classifications of renewable energy and how they
Okay.
function in.
So renewable energy we have is classified into five, I think: wind, solar, biomass, geothermal energy. Yeah, I think these are.
Okay. So, and all these things, especially with the putting focus on renewable energy, how does it affect us as humans? Fine, we are looking at renewable energy is in a way related to climate change, which is a part of the SDG goal, which is SDG goal 13. How is renewable energy, how does renewable energy affect us as humans?
Since we are on the planet, what do you call it? These greenhouse gases have tend to affect our atmosphere, tend to affect our climate. So it will cause severe climate climatic conditions somewhere. It can
Okay,
cause drought, extreme drought in some
okay,
places.
listening.
Yes. And
Continue.
extreme flood in some places. So these things affect that. And we need to combat it as early as possible. Or else our planet will go into chaos. And we might lose some species of animals.
When
Some
it says species of animal, could you a little be specific a little?
Okay, so if you go into the wild, the savanna areas and those kind of stuff, when there is water shortage, causes drought, and animals can't be able to it causes disruption to the animals ecosystem, like elephants. Some of all these animals are already endangered, and they will die, causing the ecosystem to be imbalanced.
I see. Putting focus of the SDG Goal 13, which is an important thing. That's why it's on the SDG Goal 13. In how does the SDG Goal 13 relate to renewable energy? In a way, how does it relate to renewable
Well, it
energy?
talks about SDG Goal 13 talks about combating climate change,
Okay.
and renewable energy is one of the ways, if not the only way, we can use it to combat climate change by using all these natural sources of energy generation, yeah, to combat climate change.
So, as a student of Cape Coast Technical University and someone passionate about these things, what are you doing in your bid also to create the awareness on renewable energy, which is one of the factors to combat climate change, as you mentioned? What are you doing in your bid to embark on this project?
Well, I've already I took courses on solar energy, and I'm looking forward to working on a project uh, where we use solar to power electrical devices. Try and come up with innovative solutions.
Okay,
Yeah,
could you
yeah.
explain that in details for us? I'm sure it's now coming up, and you're trying to
Oh, it's still
build.
we are still working on it, so it's not all that clear. But we
Okay,
are working on doing something with solar.
solar.
Yeah.
Solar. Fine, I know it's not that clear, but could you explain to myself and my audience how we can use solar, especially also to the layman's understanding?
It's
See,
actually a solar water heater. We are trying to use solar
solar water
heater.
heater.
Yeah, we are trying to use solar to heat water. in homes. Yeah, that's the basic concept of what we are trying to do
Okay, you are heating solar in homes or water in
in homes
homes
using solar.
using solar.
Yeah.
And how do you tend to do that?
Or you try to use capture the sun's energy and try and use that one to heat the water using electricity. It's a little
Okay.
bit complex, but
Yeah, because it's kind of
yeah,
confusing in my face and all that. But I'm sure as you're saying you're building up, I'm sure you'll be able to get to a state or a stage where you'll be able to know exactly how to go about it. So moving forward, that's the bit they're also doing as part of what you are to improve upon the situation, also help us to fight climate change. To a layman's understanding, or to someone who is not in that field, what do you think the person should do also to find himself to what can he do?
I mean there are different sources of renewable energy, and depending on where you are, if you are in windy area, you can use wind solutions, windmills, and try to use it to generate or use it to work to make your life efficient. So wherever you are, try to incorporate these renewable energy devices into your homes. Yeah,
Okay,
try to use them in your home to try and reduce your greenhouse gas emissions.
I'm not clear
Yeah,
on that.
I'm saying wherever you find yourself, these type of energy sources are expensive compared to the traditional sources. But uh, if you look at the cost, the history of the cost, you can see that it's coming down. And I'm saying if you can afford it, try to use these kind of solar sources in your homes to try and reduce your greenhouse emissions.
What would you say about the performance of the United Nations as far as the actualization of the SDG Goal 13, which is climate change, is concerned?
I think the United Nations is trying their best to try and achieve these goals, and they have been able to try and bring some countries together to try and combat these things. But I think they have a long way to go. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
when you say they have a long way to go, meaning that they have a lot to do.
yeah,
The argument you are making is that they have not done enough, or
definitely, definitely.
okay, so if they have not done enough, what in which areas are you saying that would you want them to tackle, or how far would you want them to go on that? Because someone also have a school of thought that they have done a lot and they are doing so much. Fine, I believe there are other goals that are being improved or being worked on compared to others. But with respect to climate change, as you are saying, the United Nations hasn't done much with it.
Yeah,
How far do you think they should go, and what areas that haven't they tackled from your perspective?
I mean, I think they have not been able to convince countries of those kind of deforestation and those kind of stuff. Yes, it still goes on. Looking at the Amazon forest and those kind of areas, some of the forests in Asia, East Asia, they are being cut down, and this affects our ecosystems,
Okay.
affect the ecosystem, affect the climate. It's causing landslides in those areas. So I mean, I'm hoping the United Nations are able to convince the governments of these countries to take actions. But I
Mention
understand that it's a complicated, yeah.
Sure. On the mention of government taking action on certain areas like the SDG Goal 13, with respect to our country, Ghana, has the government of the day made an effort or done its work by trying to advocate for the renewable energy and the Goal 13, which is climate change?
I also think they have not done enough. Looking at, okay, so Ghana has renewable energy. We have a solar farm in, I think, some parts of the north. That's where they used to generate electricity for them, and the conditions is great there. But looking at the galamsey and those kind of issues, it's still destroying forests and still causing climate change issues. So I think they have not done enough. In
They are
my
not done
yeah,
enough. Okay, and then same question with the United Nations also. If you are saying they are not done enough, I made mention of the government of the day talking about using like said nothing
East some part of East Asia, yeah,
exactly
the
to
cutting forests, yeah.
good. So with that, which areas do you think the government should tackle with respect to renewable energy in the country that you think he hasn't done?
Well, I think there should be more investment in those sectors to try and subsidize them so that the price of these things will come down. So solar energy and those kind of things will come down because it's quite expensive. I've like interned at a place before. I know it's quite expensive to procure these things. In the long term, is beneficial, but the initial cost is very expensive. So maybe if the government can help subsidize them so that lay people can be able to purchase these things, it will be great for the
Okay.
industry. Yeah.
I mean, is there something more? Is there another area that I think the government should focus on which he hasn't done?
Yeah, they should maybe try and limit deforestation and those kind of stuff. Yeah.
So, Jojo, as an electrical engineering student, I want you to explain briefly what the course comprises of.
Okay, the course basically comprises of the study of electricity, electronics, and electromagnetism.
Okay.
But I think there are other deeper sectors, other deeper sides such as telecommunication and computer science, and sort of IT is part of the course.
Sure. So, with your course, how does it correlate or linked to renewable energy and the SDG Goal 13 that we are trying to fight climate change?
So my course we study power generation such as solar, wind, uh, hydroelectronic power generation, biomass, those kind of stuff. So basically, power generation, and all these are mostly sustainable. We don't require fossil fuels, which fossil fuels basically are the pollutants and they pollute the atmosphere. But solar, wind, biomass, geothermal energy, these things are natural from natural sources and they have no greenhouse gases. So they are safe and they help in combating climate change.
I know you are pursuing the course that you are doing electricity, electronics, and
Electronic
electricals, and
engineering.
then electromagnets.
No, electrical, electronic
Electrical, electronic, good.
engineering.
How passionate are you about the course?
Well, it's a very interesting course. It's a wide course, broad topic, and I'm passionate enough to be doing it. So I'm very passionate
So
about
on
it.
a scale of 1 to 10,
I'm 10. It's a 10 over
10.
10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very passionate about it. What are some of the principles you uphold?
Integrity, loyalty, determination.
Determination. I see. What keeps you going? What one thing that motivates you and keeps you going?
The future is exciting. Looking at all the technological advancement coming up, I think the future is exciting, and I hope to be there and to contribute to it in every way possible.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I'm working for a very big institution that is touching the lives of people around the world. Institutions that are making huge technological advancements, such as Tesla, SpaceX, the Microsoft and the Googles of the world. These
That's
companies.
interesting. We hope your hard work and the grace of God push you to get there. Before we move to our next segment, we would want Mr. Jamefi here to give us his final take on the topic or anything general he would want to mention. So that's your camera.
Climate change is a problem that affects the world, and going forward, I hope we all contribute to it. Try to limit our greenhouse gases effect we have on the world and the atmosphere.
Sure. So as our guest Jamefi Jojo from Cape Coast Technical University has enlightened and educated us on how to fight against climate change using renewable energy. Let's do our best in our bit to do so. We have gotten to the boys and power segment. Let's go and watch this video and empower ourselves for this video. We'll come back with more.
Negative thoughts will come. Don't allow them to rule you. The moment you recognize, you realize that this thought is not from God, what do? You quickly rebuke it, run to God and overcome. It happens to everyone. Even our Lord Jesus Christ in the Garden of Gethsemane, a negative thought came.
Illusion Price.
Yes.
You're warmly welcome to the Changemaker's Voice on the Online TV with me and your Pondinchi. We are interviewing Jojo Jenfi from Cape Coast Technical University on renewable energy, a distinctive action we can use to fight climate change, being the goal 13 of the SDG, that's the Sustainable Development Goal. We have gotten to the Change Makers Voice fun time. Let's find out how smart our brother here is. And before that, we'll come back with more. Do stay tuned. You're warmly welcome back. As I said, this is the Change Makers Fun Time where we find out how smart our guests is, have fun with them, learn from them, and most importantly, for us together to learn. And the rule of the game that we are looking at today is we are asking our guest here, Jojo Jenfi, to mention the real names of these musician artists. So the people call it the stage name. So we have they have just come out or crafted name for themselves. That's what they are being known in the industry. So even their real names in tend to get missing. So we are giving us the real names of these people that you will see on the screen. So the first one, as you are seeing, is no other than Shatawale. So what's Shatawale's full name or real name?
Just I think it's Charles Nee something something.
Niyama Tale. They have done well. So his real name or full name is Charles Niyama Mensah. I think he was able to mention two of his names. Next person is Stone Boy.
I think his surname is Satekla or something like that. But I don't know his first name.
Wow, wow. Then you are good. So his real name is Livingstone Eche Satekla. Satekla. Charlie. Then the next person is if Shatawale has come, someone has come, what do you think the next person will be?
Yes, Sarkodie.
Sarkodie, exactly. So what's Sarkodie's real name?
To be honest, I don't know.
You don't know. Oh, so Sarkodie is called Michael Owusu Ado.
Oh, okay. Okay, Michael.
Michael Owusu Ado, as we are seeing on the screen. And then we have Wendy Shea.
She no.
So Wendy Shea is called Wendy Isiama Ado.
Oh, okay.
Wendy Isiama Ado. And the last person is King Promise. Don't know King Promise. Okay, King Promise is Gregory Botte Newman. Gregory Botte Newman. But well, I guess here Jojo Jenfi has proved to be smart and he was able to mention the first two of the people you saw on the screen, their real name, but what we know them in the industry to be is different. But these are their real names. And I'm sure you have also learned as well. This is a Change Makers Fun Time. We'll come back with more. You're warmly welcome back once again to and your online TV to the Changemakers Voice Show right here with me and your Pondinchi as we embark on the mission to uplift our voice and empower ourselves and change our world. We have an interactive show and conversation with Jojo Jenfi, a level 400 student of the Cape Coast Technical University studying electricals and electronic engineering. And we also had fun with him, but most importantly, we learned as well. This is where time will allow us to have fun on the show. But before we leave, question of the day, we are asking which other ways can we improve upon renewable energy in combating climate change in the world? Let us hear from you. What are your thoughts, suggestion, or anything? Remember, wisdom, as they say, it's not in one person's head. Let's come together and build ourselves and our country and the world at large together. And for more information, you can log on to our website www.andyourpond.com, and for more episodes on this show, you can visit our YouTube page on And Your Pond Online TV to be inspired, motivated, and most importantly, to learn as well. Till then, let's meet next week again for another interactive conversation on a different topic. Bye bye.